Wolfram system builder.
Okay, hold on. So, Caesar, tell me a little bit about the tool chain that exists today.
Okay, so we're talking about like how can we create an efficient workflow for open hardware development.
Yep.
From ideas to actual tests, or even like manufacturing tests, like a crash test. So basically, if you have an idea of you want to build a new car, you want to build a new machine, what are the tools that exist today that can enable you to work with other people collaboratively to develop this new technology?
Okay, and
so today you have lots of different software, you have some website that proposes these services, but the idea is, if there is an open hardware summit every year, is to focus this on creating APIs or creating standards to let these different components to work together.
APIs that will allow us to use those existing resources
as
already.
A workflow.
Yeah.
So integrate them, because nobody is going to make one software that has everything, impossible.
Right.
But then we need to find one path that allows you to do everything that you need. So for example, if you're doing parts, if you want to build your parts, you can use Thingiverse, or you can use Eagle, you can use Builder or Berto to say, start to design new parts, electronics or mechanics.
Yep.
Or you can even use Fritzing if you want to start testing them. Or
Fritzing? What's that?
Fritzing is you can design circuit boards. So you can draw it and write the component, and it will export you automatically the board that you should etch. So you can send it to a factory and you can etch.
Is it open source?
I think it's pretty much open source. And then if you want to test your design, then normally you would use SolidWorks, for example, to test your mechanical design. But there's a new thing called a Wolfram System Builder for system engineering.
Yeah.
You could couple electric system with mechanical system with thermal systems.
That's not open, is that?
No, not at all. And then when you're publishing, you want to use open hardware, Creative Commons. And when you want to publish your environmental data that's collected, for example, with your machines, then you can use, or like, I don't know, if you're producing bricks, for example, and you want to say how many bricks a minute your machine produces, you could actually plug this machine on Patch Bay, and people will know by the second how many bricks are coming out of your machine.
Through what platform?
Patch Bay. Now it's called Cosm, but they just changed name.
Cosm?
Cosm.
Or Patch Bay?
Patch Bay, yeah.
P-A-C-H-U-B-E.
Yeah. So basically, these are all like, some of them are open hardware, some of them are not. But these are components that are needed into a workflow if you want to implement an idea into a real product that you can test and manufacture.
Yeah. So, Katarina, she's all over this discussion? Or you haven't talked to her yet?
She's interested in this, but she believes that it should be a grassroots thing. So it should be us doing this rather than... She's happy, like, kind of curating it.
She's over there.
We're talking about this.
We're just talking about you.
We're just talking about this, and
not about me, about this. Oh, you have beautiful sketches.
So we're wondering if this is the work for Open Hardware Association, or if this is the work that should be done by somebody else. Who do you think should be doing that work?
I think that where the Open Hardware Association comes is here.
The publishing.
Is how do you publish your results so that they're repeatable, right? Like that's the objective, to reproduce hardware. So how can documentation be done in a way that is repeatable? And I think that we as an association shouldn't create. This is my opinion, personal opinion. Okay, shouldn't create a platform for this, nor even the whole system. We should create guidelines.
I see.
To say, like, this is what we recommend.
Specifications for that.
Because everyone is going to do it their own way, but they can or cannot abide by the guidelines. But if they're guidelines, there's something,
So with Tom Eagle, we were just asking him what are the file format we should use to exchange for like CAD drawings, or what are the best ones. And if you already have like a list, and then we have between each of these components, you have a list of the right formats. Right. It's already the beginning of a really good workflow.
Exactly.
Where'd you discuss that with Tom?
Tom Eagle online. We just created an Excel sheet, and then we just like exchange. We just like list the format for different between those. Is
that just personal email, or is that a list?
No, for now it's just a discussion between the three persons, just me, Tom Eagle, and Gabriela Levine, another team member. But we should open this discussion for sure.
Gabriela
Levine. Yeah. She presented Prote at the Open Hardware Summit.
She's also an ITP alum, that's how I know that.
Okay. Put me in on that list. I want to join the discussion.
One thing that might be interesting to look at, another person to involve in the discussion. So look up, I don't remember what it's called. Okay, so on Adafruit, there is a page called What is Open Source Hardware? And like if you scroll down, Lemore and Phil, they wrote the layers of open source hardware, like all
Sandwich.
the components.
The sandwich.
It's not called the sandwich, it's just like all the files that you should publish in order to be open source hardware, in which format you should publish them.
Okay.
So it's a start. It's not finished, but filter on is probably someone who has opinions of it. So like, for example, like the Gerber files are better than a bitmap, and things like that. And I don't know if there's anything about CAD there, but there's definitely some people who can get involved in this discussion.
Okay.
So as soon as we get
recommended formats and all that. So we just launched a mailing list for Oshwa. Anyone can join. So this might be an interesting discussion to have on
let's
that
pump
list.
that in there as a discussion.
Yeah, just like start a thread.
Yeah, definitely.
We're live on Martian TV once again.
I don't remember, but I can. Do you have my email address?
Not yet.
Okay. So if you email me, I'll email you the.
Oh no, it's not.
Yeah, can we go and take the picture?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm trying to do it now.
Yeah, I have the phone in my room. Open materials. .org.
It's treasure right there. Excellent.
And then, we just created the list, so there aren't that many people on it. So basically, we need to get the right people to join the list, and it's probably like a good platform to just discuss this and launch the discussion.
That's good.
Thank you for laying the foundation
Yay!
of the new open source world and industrial economy 2.0.
Yeah, we're all doing that. It's exciting. It's an interesting moment.
Caesar, where's this going? Where's this all going? Where do you see it going?
I think this is really, really exciting, but my position is also, for example, we're all specialists in one specific field. Like, we're interested in open hardware in the context of social science, we're interested in open hardware for agriculture, I'm interested in open hardware for the sea. So we all have our smaller fields. And I know we all have limited amount of time that we can actually dedicate to this common goal of open hardware. And it's gonna be how much time we're ready to spend on this, and
how about you guys help us, because we've got a budget that we can hire documenters. We're going through a massive documenter hiring spree. Mm-hmm. We can put in a budget for a person to take that on. We're going to have the CAD director person. We can possibly add another person to integrate this, because we're already going to define the CAD statement with of course with everybody in the community.
Right.
But the question is bigger. It's like the whole tool chain, not just CAD. There's CAD CAM. Basically CAD CAM. That's essentially what we're talking about.
What's happening is that if we're defining a workflow, what's going to happen is that we're going to basically nominate who in the industry, in this slice is going to be
standard.
Yeah.
It's going to be the standard.
It's super
It's
huge
going to be a
question.
very difficult discussion because people have preferences. Everyone has a preference of an application they prefer to use. So there's going to be an intense discussion. At one point, we're just going to say, okay, this application got, or this format got the most.
Well, we
votes.
can generalize from there. We can go a higher level to say the functional.
Right, it needs
thing.
to have these characteristics, and then you
So
can
a
use,
true
Right, it needs to be
specification.
editable, things
Yeah.
like that.
So
an
that-
STL might be the solution. So right now, STL is the standard.
STL.
STL, yes,
STL.
for 3D,
Okay, sorry.
and DXF for 2D. Those are the standards right now. Maybe we just adopt those.
But STL is
It's
not
not editable.
implementable to the assembly level.
Oh, I see. So that's one
So
thing
that's
that
the
we
next
need to
one
bring
we
up.
need.
Exactly. So that's one
Yeah.
thing we need to bring up. So I use OpenSCAD because you have the code. You can do whatever you want with it. It's the source of the source. But not everyone uses OpenSCAD. So.
I think the discussion on just the standard itself, without getting into specifications of formats, will be easier. We can at least do
Right.
that very safely without
Exactly.
pissing
What
everybody
should,
off.
Exactly. That's true.
Yeah.
What should be the defining? That's a very
Yeah.
good point. Yeah, it's very
Yeah,
good
maybe
point.
we come up with new standard that don't exist yet.
Well, for the 3D files, it doesn't exist. For at the assembly level, there's STL, but the next one for the open source
Right.
standard full assemblies, that doesn't
It
exist.
doesn't exist.
So we're gonna have to create that.
Yeah. And that's probably the most difficult one. If you want to couple not mechanical and electronic to mechanical to other stuff.
They call it .cat for Katarina.
So?
Call it .cat, .cat.
Yes, please create an extension with my name.
Okay.